gonna be talking about in this video is how to convert improper fractions into mixed numbers, and how to also change mixed numbers into improper fractions. This is mainly gonna be computational. We're not gonna do a lot of concept in this video. We'll mainly be doing problems. So let's start. Let's say we have a fraction like 7/5. How do we turn this into a mixed number? And a mixed number is just something with a number in front and a fraction beside it. It can be 1 3/4, 2 9/11. It can be whatever. It's a mixed number. Is just it could be shit 100 and 1 over another 100. You know, it can be whatever. It's just it's just a number that's not a fraction with a number that is a fraction. That's a mixed number. So how do we turn this into a mixed number, 7/5? Well, first thing that we do is we see how many times 5 goes into 7. Within the number 7, within the number 7, we can fit 1 5. So let's write down that 1. We can fit 1 5. And after we do that, how many do we have left over within that 7? Well, if we already used 5 of that 7, that means we got 2 left. And then what we do to kind of finish this off is we just drop a 5 down underneath that 2. I want to explain that real quick. The reason that we keep this 5 is that, how can this be explained? You want to keep everything in the same way that it started. That's what that whole deal is about. We started off with this fraction. Remember, the number on bottom of any fraction, that's how much it was cut up into. So imagine like a pie. You can cut a pie up into however many pieces that you want to. You can cut it up into 2 pieces. You can cut it up into 5 pieces. You can cut it into 8 pieces. But however many pieces that you cut it up into, and again, remember, they got to be the same size now too. But however many pieces you cut up this pie into, that's the number that goes on the bottom. And so when you start doing calculations, you want to make sure you remember, oh yeah, I had this thing cut up in pieces of 5, or 5 pieces. So that's why you drop this 5 below the 2. Because it's like we're saying this whole mixed number is in terms of 1/5. And again, we'll do another concept video later. But let's do another example. Let's change 10/5 into a mixed number. Same process. So we just see how many times 5 goes into 10. In this case right here, it's just 2. There's nothing left to do. 5 goes into 10 2 times. All we trying to do is just get it out of this form. That's all that we trying to do. When we doing these conversions, a lot of times these conversions, we convert to make it easier to do other stuff a lot of times. Let's do another example. Let's say we had something like 4/3. So let's say we got 4 over 3. How do we turn this into a mixed number? Again, just kind of starting off with the basics. You really just want to pay attention to this number on the bottom. What this is saying is that when we started off, we had this thing cut up into 3s. So we want to keep it in terms of 3s. So, and I'll explain that towards the end of the video. So we got 4 over 3. Now the calculation is the same. How many times does 3 go into 4? Well, it's 1 time. And after you do that, what is left over? We got 1 left over. And then we drop that 3 up under there. Had a little mishap, excuse me. But like I was saying, you see how many times 3 goes into 4, and it's 1, and we got 1 left over, and then we drop that 3 under the 1. I'm gonna do one more example, and then we'll get kind of into a real quick concept. Let's do, let's do 9 over 4. Nah, we've been dealing with a lot of 4s, man. Let's do something like, let's do 9 over 5. So I guess we've been dealing with 5 too. But, so we got 9 over 5. How do we change this improper fraction into a mixed number? Well, we see how many times 5 goes into 9. It's 1. So it goes into 9 1 time, and then you got 4 left over after you put the 5 into the 9. And then you drop that 5 down up under there, under the 4. This is gonna be the answer, 1 over 4/5. Excuse me. Now let's talk real quick about some conceptual things. I'm gonna start off with a little problem. Let's say we have 1 over 3. 1 over 3, 1 over 3, 1 over 3, 1 over 3. And we adding all these together. What's the answer to this? Well, the rule for adding fractions is if they all have the same number on the bottom, you just keep that how it is. And you just add the numbers on top. So 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, 4. So when you're looking at mixed numbers, imagine again this pie that we had. I'm gonna draw it right here, right now. For our situation right here, right, we had it cut up into 3 pieces. 1, 2, 3. And again, this is 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. Now don't get so caught up in why is it 1/3? We could have done anything, bro. It could have been 1/4 if we cut it up into 4 equal pieces. It could have been 1 over 5 if we cut it up into 5 equal pieces. The numbers don't really matter. Right now it's the principle. But so we cut our pie up into 3 equal parts. So 1 part is 1/3 because it's 1 out of 3, correct? Exactly. So when we add these right here, right? This is our whole, this gives us our whole pi that we started with. This is gonna give us that 1. And again, don't get too caught up, in, the what could be. But so because we cut it up into 3 equal parts, shit, if I give away 3, 1 whole pi is gone. We'll put it that way, right? But if we got another, let's say we don't have a full pi, but we got just another 1/3 over here. That's how you get stuff like 4/3. What 4/3 is telling you is that we got 4 1/3. In this situation right here, 7/5, that's telling you we got 7 1/5. That's really gonna be important to conceptualize as you're working with these mixed numbers and improper fractions.